searching the dark side of the mountain. Through my bones and hair and blood, words rise and cold snatched from my mouth to sink them into the cold black mud.
Hello everyone, my name is Scott, my pronouns are he, him, and this is ZealZaddy. This episode is titled Cold Wind Slice. You can follow us everywhere at ZealZaddy, and you can check out our D&D supplements and now our first Cypher supplement on DriveThruRPG. You can use the clip command on scenes you particularly liked, and it will make a clipping of it. So it's just ! Clip. I think it clips back 30 seconds or a minute, something like that. I'll have Natalie tell me in a bit if they know. All right, so the opening and closing music is by OBP Musical and composed by Nico Rhodes, and the song is sung by Melody McClellan. I appreciate their work. It is amazing, and I have another song coming for a future show that I'm working on. Old Gods of Appalachia was created by Monte Cook Games from the podcast of the same name. And Old Gods of Appalachia is a horror campaign that may contain material not suitable for all audiences, so listener discretion is advised. So welcome back, family. There are many things that separate Guilty Hole. The B&O Railroad's tracks, the 12-pole creek, a hard freeze, but nothing more than family names. Children, though, don't see names so much, at least less the younger they are, allowing the crisscrossing of folks from different strata, I suppose, in the society. Once courting begins, though, the names become a little more apparent. But teens sometimes still like their friends and don't easily give up on their upbringings together. The schoolhouse always has a bit of good for that. There is, of course, a good side and a bad side to that. The bad side is easy to explain. When one kid gets lice, they all get lice. Let's bring everybody on and get this thing started. Let's go around and let everyone say who they are, where they're from, where they can be found, all of those cool things. We are going to start, I think, let's start with Morgan.
Woo! Howdy, travelers. I'm Morgan with Mindflay Mondays. My pronouns are he, him. You can find me on social media everywhere except on Twitter as Mindflay Mondays. On Twitter, it's at MindflayMun. I'm the founder of Mindflay Mondays. We have a site for professional GMs. So if you need somebody to come run games for you, check us out. Beyond Pro DMing, we also have apparel on 3 places: Amazon, Redbubble, and Twitter. Thanks to Tiffany for Redbubble. And besides that, let's see here. I have some stuff on the DMs Guild, and I have a podcast out there. So go check it out, Mindflay Mondays podcast. I am playing Albie Lee Duty. He is a veteran of World War I, come home, dealing with a lot of personal trauma, and trying to help his friends here solve some weird stuff in this town.
You sure he's dealing with that trauma? It sounds more like he's just pushing it aside.
Hey, he's dealing with it in his way, all right?
All right, if you say so. Let's go to Blake.
Hello, everybody. My name is Blake. You can find me on sometimes lurking on Blue Sky, Blake Francis. Otherwise, random place on the internet under that. Tonight, I am playing as Zebediah Allen, a preacher's son who may become a believer now. We'll see. I mean, things are going on, so kind of hard to, look the evidence in the eye and say it's not real, but we'll see.
All right, Michael. You are
Howdy.
There you are.
I'm Michael at RoboSardy on the socials. I do art and animation, but today I'm going to be Angus Bell, one of the oldest folk here in Guilty Hole.
Yes, you are. All right, Natalie.
All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Natalie, she, they. Find me most places on the internet with Ghost Candle or Ghostly Candle on Twitch and YouTube. I'm primarily an artist and a variety streamer, so just check me out. I do lots of things and lots of things coming up in the new year, so follow me for the most updates. And tonight, I am playing Ashley Crane, he, him, outsider to Guilty Hole, though been here for a good 5 years. Keeps personal business, but where friends need some things a-fixin', he comes a-fixin'.
Very nice. All right, Grimm.
Hello, everybody. My name is Grimm. You can find me on all the socials at empathic_Grimm. I am a game designer and working on getting my streaming up and running, so keep an eye out on Twitch for that happening soon. I am playing Lieutenant Gabriel Henry Crow. I am also a resident long time of Guilty Hole, West Virginia, and Albie and I shipped off together, returned separately. I am also, much like AD, dealing with my own traumas and ghosts of the past.
Yep, Ghosts of the Past is a good way of putting it. All right, Thea. Or not Thea, Tiffany. Playing Thea.
I'm Tiffany. I'm playing Theodosia Wooden. You can find me my socials at Dungeon_Damsels. Run my own campaign called Dungeon Damsels. And I'm excited to play here with this fine group.
The fog slowly faded from the day. It was quite an eventful day, you know. The sun, though, warmed it a bit, not enough to melt the snow. It stubbornly refuses to budge. So smoke puffs are reaching out from every chimney in town. Everything that ain't snow is gray as the sky. Wind whips up little snow devils as dryness also grips the cold. It is not a wet winter at this moment. The church is packed with rumors about Lexi, the wooden girl, and her encounter with the devil. Of course, the power of the Lord, amen, cleared her soul, and instead, though, took the life of old Carol Allen, a man of few words and a believer in the old ways. Of course, nobody's been found yet, as the river is still frozen over. But Guilty Hole is also closing in on Christmas week and the gifts of mushrooms for tea, and if old Saint Nick determines you being good, presents for the children. A careful observer might notice that he does seem to favor more the children of the families of means. Perhaps they're just better children. Perhaps he has a blind spot for the poor. No one knows for sure. But the poor folk get simple homemade gifts or handmade gifts, while the wealthier ones get new clothes and newfangled contraptions like bicycles. And you all are sitting in the church as it starts to get late. The night has worn on. And Lexi, after some conversation with Thea, says, I think I need to go home. I've been gone for 2-3 days or whatever you said it was. You think you could walk me back and make sure I get home okay? I mean, it is pretty dark now.
I'm going to look out the window.
It's
what
dark.
time is it? It's dark. And I'm like, I think you ought to stay here for the night.
Mom and Pa's going to probably hear the rumors before morning, and I'd rather...
All right. I go and I look and she's...
And you are not a night owl.
No,
I
she's
don't
like...
think. Maybe one of
I go
maybe one of them
over
will go
to...
with us.
I think I'll ask Mr. Bell. And I go over to Angus. Like she's trying like real hard to like not look skittish. Straightens her back. She's a little 17-year-old walking up to big old Angus Bell. Mr. Bell, could you walk Lexi and me home?
He pauses for a beat
Please.
and like sizes you up, and he is like, "It'll be my pleasure. Are you going home with your sister as well?"
I don't think I'm welcome home.
Yeah,
Thank you.
she ain't welcome home yet. Mr. Bell.
No, welcome. Girl after my own heart.
I think Pa's trying to teach her a
No.
lesson or something, you know.
Well, if it's to learn how to haul wood, it's working.
Well, hard lessons build character.
And the preacher, she comes by and she goes, it ain't working yet. Maybe in a couple more days it'll be working.
Just pout a little.
And she just smiles at you as she walks by and snickers.
Yeah, because in her opinion, she's working really hard. She's like, hmm. Well, I'll get my she has like a, let me double check. I think she has like a lantern or a.
Yeah.
Nope, she doesn't. She has. I give her a vacuum bottle.
Angus has a lantern.
Okay, great.
Of course. Angus, of course, would have a lantern. It just totally makes sense. He could stand out in the corner with lantern in the morning before the sun's up.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I just pull my coat on, and does Lexi have like a coat?
She does.
Okay.
And Adeline comes over. Mr. Bell, would you like a little more oil for your lantern? It looks like it is not full, and I'd rather you not go out with it short.
Well, thank you kindly.
She takes a bottle of some oil and refills it. All right, that should do you. I think you'd be good all the way there and back. I know it's a bit of a ways out to the woodlands.
No, the woods is where I feel most at home. Don't you worry.
All right, I trust you.
All right, and I'll walk Lexi home.
I'm going with you.
And you are heading out, and it's quite a bit of a walk to get out there. That home is not only distant, but it is up on the side of a hill that is not an easy walk. There is a bit of a dirt road that winds its way up the hilltop to what is ostensibly, in these parts, a mansion.
Yeah.
The Woodens are, of course, wealthy folk. There are a couple of lights on inside, although only a couple.
Now, Thea, what did you do to disrespect your daddy?
She just sort of like kicks a rock that's on the ground. She says, I'm not really sure. Maybe I was just born.
Thea, you don't got to come in. Or just maybe. I mean, this may be close enough. I can walk the rest. And you see someone is actually on the porch, just sort of rocking real slow.
Can I make out who it is?
You think it might be Pa.
I just scowl at him.
It's far, but you can scowl still.
Scowl at him. Yeah, I think it's best you run in by yourself. Maybe with Mr. Bell, so you don't get a scolding for coming alone.
And she turns around and gives you a big hug, and she whispers, "I can't wait to introduce you to Chenard. I think you're gonna really like him.
I'll be happy to meet him.
And maybe learn a French word or two. That'd be kind of cool to make him think you know French. You don't know French, do you?"
She might know like 2. I maybe know 1 or 2.
Oh, that's amazing. All right, thank you, Mr. Bell. You're
Yeah, I'm sure your pa is really gonna enjoy an outsider here in Guilty Hall. Here, let me walk you to the door.
okay.
I watch from my tree. I find a tree and I hide behind it.
And she walks with you side by side. And as you get closer, you realize that her father is not only in a rocking chair, but there is a rifle across the lap, sitting across the bars of the rocking chair. You can hold on right there. Who is that coming up?
Oh, yous know who's coming up as I like bring the lantern closer to my face.
Well, Mr. Bell. And he gets up. He puts the gun down against his house, just kind of leaning on it. And it looks like you have brought my daughter home.
Yes, sir.
Last one that was missing, thank goodness.
Keep a close eye on this one. You don't want to be losing any more daughters.
So, where you been, girl? It's been 3 days now. I'll tell you in a little bit. You'll tell me right now, and then you can go in. You do not disrespect me by not answering a question I asked you directly about. I was with some friends, and we kind of like stayed out too long by accident. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to have you go get a switch off that willow, and we will take care of this problem right away. Then you can sleep on that and think about that. You got it? Yeah, I got a... Sorry, Paul. You going in now. I'm talking to Mr. Bell. And she goes in, nervous. So how'd you come along and bring her to my door? Was everything okay?
Well, I don't know if you heard, but town's been all gommed up recently.
I have not heard nothing. I hadn't been to town in a couple of days. We're getting ready for Christmas, you know.
Of course, the Christmas. You're not as perceptive as I anticipated you to be. There's a whole types of superstition and events of spirits all alike.
Oh,
But
those old granny magics and things like that. People always, right before the holidays, get all up in arms and think there's all kinds of magic and boogers running around spooking people. I mean, we just did have All Hallows Eve not more than 2 months ago. Maybe there's some leftover spooking going on with some of the kids. You and I did that kind of thing back in the day.
easy for you to say for a man who's more concerned with the holidays than the safety of their own daughter.
Most kids go off for a couple of days at a time sometimes when they gotta find themselves or grow up a bit or something. I did have my rifle, you know.
Yeah. Much good that did with your daughters. Where's your older one?
I don't have an older daughter.
And to the GM, do I know that Theodosia is the oldest
Yes.
daughter? Okay.
Matter of fact, you probably know the entire family tree, which there are 4 siblings. Theo was the oldest.
Mm-hmm. You must be checking your fingers again. It seems like you're not able to count.
I think I can count to 10 and tell you to get off my property because I do not like the way you're questioning me and bringing that disrespect onto my land and my property. I do thank you for bringing my daughter back.
Much obliged. As I lower the lantern and then just turn away.
And you don't hear him take a step for a little bit. Like you get a distance away and then you hear him finally take a few steps up and you hear the door close.
Mm-hmm.
And just about that time you get back to where Thea is, hiding behind a tree.
Hiding behind a tree, rubbing her face, trying to not look like she's been crying. I'm like, I'm not crying.
You're crying.
You're crying.
Now, girl, why are you rubbing dirt in your face? We've been doing enough dirty work already.
She has no idea what to say to that. She's just like, oh, I just got some Mr. Bill.
Look, you best learns to speak up. If you want people to take you seriously, If you want people to respect you, you speak up.
When I speak up, I get a beating.
Well, I can tell you right now, you're not going to get one from me.
Thank you.
And you go and you start walking back to the church. Maybe 100 yards you get, and you hear, "Oh, Thea, Thea," and Lexi's yelling out.
Turn around.
And there ain't no one there. There's nobody back there.
Did I hear that at all?
You didn't. You just heard her turn around. You just saw her turn around.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear Lexi calling?
No, I watched her walk right up into Ewan's home. It's silent as a doorknob out here.
Oh. Can we, do I know where Lexi's window is in the house?
Yes, you do.
Can I see her window?
Yeah, you can. There's a light up there, but you see as you're looking up, it goes dim. And the lantern obviously went down and the light was out.
Must have just heard some, I don't know, must have been the wind.
Might be more than a win with what we've been going through. Here, you hold this lamp. And I'm going to give the lamp to Theodosia.
I get it.
As I bring out my rifle as we're walking back.
Okay. You're walking back, and it is a very still, kind of unsettling kind of still night. There are little snow flurries coming down, but they are falling almost straight to the ground. There's no movement in the air this time of night. And you get all the way back to the church, although there is definitely an unsettling feeling on both of you that you were being watched or something. You could not pinpoint a position or a place, but it just felt it.
As we're walking, I'm gonna speak to Theodosia and be like, "How are you liking it, staying with the preacher? I guess it's better than staying off of the streets."
Well, that's about it. It's better than staying in snow. Which is what I'd get.
Yeah, it seems like I don't know, seems like the preacher doesn't quite appreciate your company.
I think my company's just about treated like everyone else's who's borrowing the floor.
And you enjoying staying with the preacher?
I mean, if being honest, not particularly. Not. She's like, well, I'm not real adept at moving lots of wood and heavy things, and I'm more of an intellect, so rather be using my mind for things, but I don't, if that's not what she needs, then it's not what I do. Just go and get butter and wood and water. She looks so defeated.
Yeah. He eases back, tilts his head, and it's like, well, it seems like you want something a little bit more worth your time. How about this? Instead of staying in the church, it looks like you need a place to stay. Why don't you stay at my home? I live alone and don't have much company, and don't think of it as a charity. Think of it as an old man who needs help around his home.
She stops in her tracks and looks at you bewildered. No, I mean, you realize I'm no good cook and I'm not good at cleaning or nothing. I mean, I could do those things, but it'll take about twice as long.
Well, you could take this as a learning opportunity. You said you're an intelligent type.
Oh. Yeah. I'll take you on that offer, Mr. Bell. Thank you.
And you see the church ahead of you as you're conversating about that. Inside the church, the rest of you are waiting around, and there is praying and singing going on. To the non-religious, it would be a maddening level of uppity prayer and caroling of songs that you hear over and over. You can't even take another amen before you're about to say, I cannot be amen and no more. But everyone seems to be doing it with fervor. There's some passion in it. Mostly a passion of fear, you think. What are you doing while you wait?
I know Albie would have left after when they started getting real into it.
Yeah,
and
Gabe would have been right. Gabe would have been right behind him.
Going to the bar. That's where I find my religion, at the bottom of the bottle.
The only bar in town, TJ Booker's. Not the only bar.
TJ
There's another,
Booker's.
actually, a hooker. At an inn. There's a bed and breakfast. There's a bar, but TJ Booker's is one that has all the activity mostly throughout the whole night.
I think Ashley, especially when the sun went down, he would have checked his pocket watch, checked the time, and then look at Zebediah and, well, usually stop by the Angry Rabbit for a slice of pie and a coffee. I don't know if this is, you'd like to stay here or come with me, but...
I would love to, but I gotta get back to the cemetery. Because I still have to do work, correct? Because I mean, I've been gone all day. I still have some work to be done at the cemetery, or...
Sure, although it is the weekend. Tomorrow's Saturday. And,
oh, okay.
You know, work day's done.
Oh.
Leisure miners work Saturday also. They get off on Sunday. Sawmill workers also work Saturday, but you know, it is 1 week before Christmas, so it is perhaps the one time they get off on a Saturday. You're not sure how their schedules are.
Mm-hmm. Well, what'd you have in mind there again, Ashley? I'm sorry.
Just stopping by the Angry Rabbit for dark brew of coffee and slice of pie.
Yeah, you know what? I'll join you. It's the weekend's coming up, so yeah, I'll be more than happy to join you.
All right then.
Yeah. I think when I see Gabe starting to follow up, like TJ's. Let's go.
All right. So 2 of you head to TJ's, 2 of you head to the Angry Rabbit. All right.
I tell the preacher to let Gus know where we're at in case he wants to stop by TJ's.
So I'll let him know then. I hope you're heading home to get some sleep, right?
It's exactly where we're going, Pastor. That's exactly where we're going.
She smiles.
Dark circles under the eyes.
Right. Gabriel pops the collar up of his, heavy oiled coat.
Yeah, overcoat on.
Yeah.
Hand you a cigarette if you want one.
Takes it, lights it.
Ashley, you and Zebediah head to the Angry Rabbit, and while you're on your way, you do see a lot of deer tracks. Like the deer are moving about in the winter; they're always running through. And you do see a couple of tracks of maybe wolves or something that might be following up the herd. Just an FYI. You get to the Angry Rabbit, and there's lights on, and there are a few people sitting in there, a couple of sawyers, and a couple of people that work in the mine. 1 or 2 kids there to work, serving food and stuff. May I get you a table, sirs?
Yes, that'd be mighty kind of you.
Yes, yes. Oh, over here, please.
Follow.
And he sets you to a table that is a little window table. You can see out across what is known as the yard, and is really the kind of the open fields in the middle of all the homes, most of the homes. And you sit. Coffee?
Yeah, my usual coffee and a pie.
And someone at the counter says, "Do they want coffee?" And the boy says, "Oui, coffee." And he heads over.
Heads over to us or heads over to the
He heads over to get the coffee for y'all.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, that's
Usually-
it's
brings
been a
over
fun.
A couple coffees and some menus. Let me know if you'd like anything. I'll get it for you.
Thank you.
He heads
Appreciate
back.
it.
He looked at
And
me.
I don't
all
even
like,
lift up
"Well,
the. Yeah, I don't even lift up the menu. I just know I already want whatever pie is available. I just glance out the window.
a winter pie, probably pumpkin or pecan or something like that. Fruit pie is a little too early or too late, depending on what you're thinking.
I always like coming here. It's nice and quiet, and a man can think while he enjoys a dark brew and some pie.
Yeah, and, I mean the pie smells. I smell from here already. Like it smells pretty darn good. So I haven't actually been here too much to be honest, but yeah, it's not bad.
It's a good comfort. I think I know Albie would have liked me to come with him too to the bar, but I've been trying to avoid that kind of stuff, as you know.
How's that been going, Amanda? That can be definitely a tricky thing to kind of do. I mean, yeah.
Well, if I were to speak truth to the situation, because I won't lie to you, Zebediah, do sometimes find my flask with the last remainings of my whiskey, but it's slowly going.
But the good book says as long as you're trying, it's good enough. So you're doing what you can do. So I think that's good enough. But plus, I mean, every now and then, even the Bob that drank a little bit every now and then too. So I mean, if once or twice, on the weekend days, that's probably fine.
Well, blood of Christ, am I right?
Exactly. Amen. Right? Amen. Well, did that boy have an accent to you? Or was that just me? I could have sworn he said
Yeah,
something like
he
"we" or
said
something like that.
wee, yeah.
Hold on a
Wasn't too
second, let
sure
me-
if he meant like wee as you had to go wee.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But I think that may be one of them what you call it, French languages, right?
Yeah,
I think.
I've heard a bit of French on the rail tracks because I've had to go up north before.
Oh. Okay. Well, dang. Well, let's. You know what? I'm gonna show you a trick though. I'm gonna call the
Huh.
boy back to the. I'm gonna call the boy back to the table.
Yeah.
He comes over. Are you ready to order something?
Oh, yes. I mean, definitely like a pie, like Ashley is having too. But I will say though, do you speak another language as well? I mean, I could have sworn I heard wee, but
I do.
I don't know
I
if
speak
that-
French. I sometimes yell out in the wrong language to Ronald back there, and
oh, that's fine.
My bad,
Go
I
ahead
did-
if you don't mind. I think it's such a beautiful language. Go ahead and speak a little bit of it to me if you don't mind, just a little bit. Just maybe a sentence or two.
and he says in a language. He says something to you. You don't know what it is unless you know French. Do you know French?
Well,
Tu
no,
ne
but I do have
parles
dialect
français?
though. I do have dialect, so I can if I
Je suis
talk to
anglais.
them and talk to someone, I can start speaking in that language a little bit with a skill that I have. And so after hearing or seeing the case of language spoken for a few minutes, until keep him talking for a little bit, let him like get a little bit out, I can speak it and make myself understood. And so if he talks to me in a few minutes that language, I can understand and start talking back to him.
He said a sentence. He just said, And then he says, I just asked if there's if you'd like the minced pie that is the specialty right now, the dried fruit. It is particularly good this time of year.
I will say back in rough French, since I can talk back to him a little bit. Oh yes, that'd be great. I would definitely enjoy having that pie.
Oh, you know a little French too.
Yeah, you can say it's a blessing from the Lord. So I do know a little bit. I just keep talking to him and then kind of gradually getting better as the conversation goes. So we're playing French again.
And he smiles. Oh my gosh, you're the only person I know in town that I can speak to in that language. I mean, I can tell from your accent that you're kind of new to it, but it's amazing.
Well, I appreciate that. I'll come back here more often, and if you want to have conversations, because I know what it's like to. Well, I guess I don't, but I mean, I wouldn't know what it's like, but know what's with my language too. So I can come back. Me and Ashley would definitely be down to come back and give you our business.
Excellent. I mean, I just started working here, so it ain't like I know a whole lot about all the pies, but I have tried the mince pie, and it is really good. And what about you?
I look forward to it.
What about you, sir?
Mince pie sounds fine. Who's making the pies today?
I think Ronald's mother made them.
All right.
Ronald, does your mother make those pies? Yes, my mother made those pies. She's back in the kitchen making more of them right now. We got to have some more for later, for tomorrow. How you doing, Mr. Crane?
Good evening.
And he takes the menu. There's anything else you wanted off the menu, or just the pie?
Just the pie.
And the coffee, of course. But, And he heads back. Nice to meet you both.
What's your name too, sir? I'm sorry. What's your name?
Michard.
Nice to meet you, Michard.
I look over at Zeb.
See, it's all thanks to the Lord. Like, I don't even know, okay? Like, people be talking language, and then I can start speaking it back to them. So I imagine it has to be one of the blessings that I've heard a lot about. So, yeah, I don't really know, but
Yeah, that's some good tongue waggling you were able to pull off there. The most I ever gotten out of French is how to say I don't speak French and that I'm English.
well, like I said, I have no idea how, but I just think it's a blessing. A little, I guess it's like a part of the trick. So,
And while you're talking, you see in the line of broken snow where the deer had passed by, a wolf goes right through the center of that field. A big wolf, not like no little pup. This is a lead wolf or something. And it runs, obviously, on the pursuit of those deer. Not an uncommon thing, although wolves are not super common anymore, but that's a particularly dangerous looking wolf at that size. And it's gone in a heartbeat, running into the dark. And the pies are brought over. And Michard puts the forks down almost in a genteel fashion and puts the napkin with it in a much more upscale feel than this little diner is used to.
You don't need to be minding so much, boy.
I like being treated like this. It's fine. This is all fancy. Like, go on. It's fine.
My mother taught me and said, when you set a table, you set it right. That's all.
Oh, that's fair.
And he heads back.
Do you need help walking home, Zebediah? Considering I just saw that wolf there, I don't know if you happen to carry any arms on you or not.
The only weapon I got is a weapon of the Lord, my Bible. But it's fine. I mean, it's.
I can walk you home.
I don't. If you want to, I definitely, not because of the wolf, but I do enjoy your company. So if you want to, that's that's the reason why.
All right. Okay. My company, sure.
And you have some time.
Ashley, I feel like you can see right through me, Ashley. Gosh darn it.
Back at TJ Booker's while you're enjoying your pie, you see there is some activity in there, and there is probably a good 25 or 30 people in this little tiny hole in the wall. A couple bar stools are still left, a couple of tables still left. But there's definitely some drinking going on, a little bit of dancing in the back. Welcome in, boys. We got some soldiers in. And TJ Booker, who is a very big man, welcomes you into the bar.
Thank you, TJ.
What can I get for you tonight? Everybody's been ordering the Devil's Fire tonight, so what will it be? Same?
I look at Gabe. 2 Devil's Fires.
2. I reach into my jacket, pull out about $10 and slap it on the table. Round for the bar also.
Woo! Everyone's like cheering on a round for the bar, and he starts ringing a bell. Ding, 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 ding.
And Gabe, still the same.
Just because I got it means I might as well spread it around.
You do know a lot of these boys are working tomorrow, and if they don't make it home, I'm going to be at the one to bring them in.
I have to make sure you maintain employment, don't I?
All right. Fair enough. Oh, man. When was the last time we were at a place like this, dancing and stuff? Wasn't it Paris, right?
Right outside Paris.
Yeah, there was a girl there, wasn't there?
There was. I take the for the Devil's Water. Is it like a shot, or is it like
It's a shot.
an actual drink?
It's a shot.
I just take it and just knock back.
Make me a perception check, please.
All right. And so
Both of us or just him?
Just him.
Okay.
All right, and so that would be a. What is the rating on?
Just roll. Let me know what your number is. I'll tell you if you made it.
19.
Oh, you definitely made it. So you put your shot back, and your eyes immediately are struck by across the room, very far across the room. There's a woman with black hair, kind of gray eyes, like almost like a blue highlight in the hair, but not really blue, like a winter fire almost. And she is just standing over there talking with TJ at the bar in a very nice dress, but not provocative or anything, just a dress. And she looks familiar. You can't quite place her, but
I follow up with my shot.
Albie, you see Gabriel sort of take his shot back and hang on for a long moment with that shot glass at his mouth, kind of staring down the room or the bar.
And I look where his eyes and follow him to see if I can see where they go off into the
There's a person at the end of the bar there are a bunch of people at the end of the bar actually, but there is one person he seems to have his eyes set on for a moment.
Do I recognize this individual?
And then you see her start walking this way. You're near the door, and she walks past, and skin is sort of the color of maybe tobacco, like dried tobacco, and a warmth to her. She has a little bit of a smile as she walks by. Her gray eyes are very bright, and she heads out. She kind of nods at both of you on the way. Good evening. And heads out.
Evening, ma'am.
Evening.
You know her? You look like you recognize her.
Albie, you know her.
Who is it?
That's Miss Margaret. She is the school teacher.
Do you know Miss Margaret? School teacher. Miss Margaret.
Shoot my glass back, slam it down around, tap the bar for another one.
Right
Not
away.
answering.
Huh?
Not answering.
He brings it over
boy.
right away.
You know, I remember how good you can dance. If I get her, maybe she'll dance with you.
I haven't danced alley in
I know.
3
It's been a
years.
minute.
Yeah.
I know. It's been a minute. Life was a
Didn't
lot
we?
easier, wasn't it, before all this?
I didn't want to leave.
I know. I wait for another shot so I can take one day.
Right.
You get your shot.
Mm.
Should I just leave a bottle here? It looks like you two are working on fixing yourselves tonight.
We always
2 more
fix
shots.
it,
That's
honestly.
it. All right. Brings over
I
a
gotta
couple more
work on them all.
glasses.
Yeah.
Pours the 2.
No. Hard stop, TJ. Hard stop.
All right. Until you say
Not for me though.
to stop stopping, I suppose.
Hard stop.
All right. He pours the 2, heads out. Heads back to the bar.
Now listen, Gabe, you ain't my boss. You ain't my
I ain't
boss.
your boss, but I do care about
You
you.
ain't my lieutenant.
I was never actually your lieutenant. God, imagine how bad that would have been for everyone. Oh, y'all under my command?
But
You know how-
you weren't so. You remember when we were kids? You weren't so bad. We built those forts up on the side of the mountain.
We did. Once
The
upon a
Sawyer
time.
boy, the Sawyer brothers, along with MacArthur, came charging up, and you
I remember
right.
that.
Did
Yeah,
all right
I remember
directing us
that.
to win
I
that
remember
fight.
that.
yeah, yeah, Sam. Yeah.
Do you ever know what happened to Owen? Because I can't get an answer. I don't know one about what happened to my cousin Owen.
Oh, for the
Owen
clarification,
Crow.
Owen was still
My
with us,
cousin.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I
because
left.
I'm
Oh,
saying-
yeah.
Yeah,
When I
was making
left,
sure
he
Owen
was still with you guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Scott, would I know something about that?
You know that he was shipped off to another platoon, and you do not know what happened to that platoon.
I don't fully know, man. Right after you left, they packed him up and shipped him off too. Another platoon, and then that was the end of it. I didn't hear anything else of it. We tried to get word, tried to send him letters, but they wouldn't tell us where they went, or I don't know if they ever got any of the letters.
See, because I can't even get in. You know that office over in Columbus, the Veteran Affairs office?
Yeah, VA.
I've written 2-3 letters since I've been home requesting information, and I heard hide nor hair.
I don't know.
So
It seems weird. I mean,
that's what I'm thinking.
all I know is when you left, we all made a promise that we stick together. We ought to have each other's back. And I know it wasn't your choice, but when you left, everything went to hell.
Yeah, that's what I understand happened. I wish that wasn't the case. Just like I wish where I had gone wasn't in some kind of hell. But we're both here.
I wish I wasn't covered in Sam's blood. That's what I wish. I don't know. I still have nightmares about that over there. Everything over there.
Yeah, those are the souvenirs you pick up. I says I shoot one of the other drinks down.
You know what's really, really sad and a little bit crazy is what we saw today felt more normal.
Then what happened over there? I was thinking the exact same thing. And
that ain't normal, man.
No.
Girl floating in the air? Something in her? Spirit?
Right?
No, this should be... I don't know, man.
The adrenaline felt good, though. That kick felt good.
I just want to tell you something, man. I know I've been hard on you since you've been back. I am glad you made it home.
I'm glad you made it home, too, you son of a bitch.
But I am dealing with stuff, man, and I know it's not your fault. So there might be times where I snap at you. Get
That's
mad
fine.
because I can't help it. Part of me still, even though I know none of it was your choice, part of me still blames you.
I still left.
Yeah, but it's orders. Orders are orders. We know that.
Orders are orders, but, you know.
And Mr. Booker comes over. Should I fill up that empty glass there, or is it a hard stop for real?
No more.
Give me one more.
Mr. Albie, are you paying for the last one, or is
Of course,
it
I'm
still
paying for
under
mine.
that $10 that was dropped earlier?
I'll pay for my last one.
And he
I
looks
got
at you
money.
for a moment,
my hands are
Gabriel,
money.
and he pours you one more. All right, Albie.
Thank
He
you.
heads back.
I don't know if you know, but Sam and my brother, they're buried at the cemetery. I made sure they were sent home. So
I've been. I go regularly.
Same. I don't know about you, but I talk to them.
Yeah, I talked to him. It was the five of us for so long. I can't imagine being. It's odd being home without him.
It's last 2 out of 5.
No,
That ain't right, man.
no.
I
it's
thought
not
we were
right.
doing something good for this country, but I mean, what we went through over there was just. They don't know it. They don't know here.
They
don't
called it-
understand.
They called it an honorable thing. Do you remember any honor over there?
I remember.
For the life of me, I can't remember a shred of honor.
I remember
I can't-
boys grabbing their throats, trying to find air, ripping at their faces, falling down dead. I remember the blood, the wounds, the barbed wire,
No.
just trying to get through and just being pinned down and being shot all to hell.
Ashley, you and Zebediah, when you head out after your pies, you go past TJ Booker's on the way to Zebediah's, which is the next building over, and you see right in the window Gabriel and Albie drinking and chatting, and you can kind of see there are a fair number of shot glasses in front of the both of them.
You probably also see Albie's jacket hanging open with his firearm in there too.
You see Gabe's open, and you see just right off the corner of his back a little black and wooden piece of steel and wood. So,
And they're looking tired at this point. You can see they were tired before. After all these drinks, you can kind of see their eyes are at half mast.
Oh,
I think I just
Zeb.
fell asleep right there. What the heck?
Yeah.
And then you see Albie take out some medication.
you see just Gabe shake his head at the pill.
Well, Zebediah, if you don't mind, we may have to take a bit of detour to make sure these two boys get home safely with everything intact. And I tap on the window.
I believe that Ashley's trying to get our attention. Ashley's trying to
see
get our
me just-
attention.
As you say, you look at me and you see me with a cup up, waving them in.
Just shaking my head no. Just
Yeah, we're both and my hand doing come on out.
Yeah, I pat hard on Albie's shoulder as I readjust. You had you one more. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, all right. DJ, thanks. Have a good night.
DJ,
Good
Divvy
night,
out
good
the
night,
rest-
boys.
divvy out the rest of what's over left on that 10 on the rest of the bar. I don't got no change. It's fine.
Bell rings again. Woo! Everyone cheers on. Although the cheering is a little bit more dampened by the already amounts of alcohol that are in everyone. You two walk out and you see Ashley and Zebediah there, kind of shaking their heads at you.
Good. After what we saw today, we needed a drink.
Or
Well,
5.
but
Or
after we
5.
saw today, though, I mean, drinking doesn't make you at your best, and more stuff like that happens. I mean, but I don't know. I mean, sure, yeah, we definitely get a couple drinks in, and yeah, you're right.
I'm not going to lecture you two boys, but going to at least make sure if you're going to be in a drunken stupor on your way home that you're safe, because we just saw a rather big wolf wandering around. And looks like your aim may be a little sideways.
You better when I'm like this. I'm just right at that edge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're telling stories now. You're telling stories now.
He
Mhm.
says
How
that.
much you want to bet that I can put a hole through a quarter in this state right now at 50 yards?
So I'm a holy man. I don't put bets on nothing. So no, I'm not about to do that right now. But if you want to do that yourself, though, I'd be happy to
Don't
watch.
waste a quarter, Gabe. Don't waste. If you're gonna shoot a quarter, you might as well just give it to me. I'll use it for something more beneficial than that.
And you notice that Albie is kind of, even though he said edge and he put his hand out, he kind of leaned a little far forward and then leaned a little back, and you can tell he's walkable and stuff, but he is.
I'm gonna go up to Albie and just pat him on the
You
shoulder.
see me?
Like, okay, come on, buddy. Come on.
All right. You see me patting my thing, then start to pull out my flask.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna put his hand like, okay, you're good, buddy. No, you good,
All right,
you good.
all right.
Put that back. Yeah, come on.
All right.
Okay, Ashley, you get you gave Brunel I'll have Albie here.
And you walk to make sure they get home. Back at the church, Gus, you and Thea get back, and it is, by the time you get back, it is mostly emptied out. The preacher is still there, and a couple of the people that are working at the church are there. You made it back. You got Lexi, I see, back to her house.
Yeah, we saw her home.
Good.
Day for the bug.
You
Well,
you ready to get to bed? It's pretty late, you know.
well, Mr. Bell has been kind enough to offer me work and stay.
And she looks at you, Gus, like, really?
Let's say I'm doing you a charity.
So you need someone to make you breakfast and clean the rooms?
It's just kind of like a slow nod, like.
I see. Well,
What can I say? These weary bones don't move as fast as they used to.
it ain't charity to me. It's charity to Thea. Maybe you can teach her how to do some of that stuff a little better, and she's been doing the things here. You're gonna get a little stronger, I can tell you. You know, you do have the right heart, and your heart will carry you to the point that your body will take the rest, but it'll take a little time.
Thank you. And I.
But
I'll
you
be
know, Angus still has a fireplace.
one I intend to use. I'll be collecting my things and getting out of your
All
hair.
right. The bed is open if you need it again.
Thank you.
I wish you good luck and the blessings of the Lord on you.
Amen. And then she
I'll-
goes and like gets her stuff.
I'll check on your sister tomorrow. I'll head up to your pa's house and let him know what happened.
Thank you.
Now, where did the rest of those
Albie
where'd they go?
Albie and Gabriel, they went to TJ Booker's, I believe. They didn't say that's where they're going, but I could tell when two Army boys get together, there ain't nowhere else to go but there. And Ashley, I believe, invited Zebediah to the Angry Rabbit to have some pie and coffee. That was many hours ago. I cannot imagine they are still there, though. That would be a very slow chewing for them to still be left there.
Can't believe those kids are ending the day the right way.
I come back and I have everything she owns in like a little bag. But you do see her wearing her fancy hat because that was one of the specific items. And I'm like, yes, she would have a fancy hat. So she has that fastened to her head, along with her doctor's bag filled with other things. And then she says, well, I wanted to collect my bike to the
Yeah.
side.
It's just on the side of the church.
You're what?
Oh,
You have
I'll
a
show you.
bicycle?
Oh, yeah, I'll show you in the chat.
What's this here, there? And he like kind of gestures to your head.
But it's my hat.
It looks like a Sunday hat to you, like a church hat. Not like something.
Man, we're
actually
already in
much.
church. You don't need a church. You don't need a hat leaving.
I don't want to leave my hat here, and it's much easier to wear on my head than in my hand.
It gives you like the biggest stink eye.
I just, you told me to speak up. And she just goes to the door.
You head out.
She runs out of steam.
as you're walking, it is definitely very cold out, and it's a very still cold at this time, although there is snow still coming down very slowly. And you come across a point where when you cross over the bridge, there are a lot of deer tracks that ran over and ran through. And as they go through, you see that there are also tracks following. Thank you for this for the sub, GM Baal, I believe.
Yay.
Oh,
Hey.
like the Babylonian god, I believe, or demon, depending on which way you think about him.
Right.
Very appropriate for this stream.
Yeah.
And there are tracks that are following, look like wolf tracks. Perhaps you have recognized wolf tracks, but there's just so much activity. There must have been a big herd that went through, crossing the bridge at some point. Not that big of a deal, but you just recognize that because there are lamp lights on the bridge on all four corners.
Angus, do you stop and look at the tracks?
Yeah, I stop and look at the tracks.
Okay, yeah. Thea's just pushing her bike along through the snow. And then she pauses and looks behind Mr. Bale.
One of the tracks is about the size. When you look at it, you're like, that's bigger than my hand.
Now this is quite peculiar. This is bigger than a wolf. This is bigger than a panther.
I come out and I look at it, tilt my head. Well, and then would I have like calipers in my doctor's supplies?
Calipers.
Or like a measuring instrument?
Sure. I'll give you a measuring instrument. Oh, actually, I'll give you calipers. You had enough money. You could have gotten that as some kind of an odd gift as a sciencey kid.
Yeah, she pulls out this pair of calipers and then unscrews it and then straightens it out to like about the length of it. She says, well, I'll tell you that's a big paw print. It's about it's about 19 inches.
I don't need no tweezers to tell me that's big.
I like my tweezers, thank you. And I just put them in my bag.
Now tell me, so how are the tracks like? Does it look like it was like pursuing? Does it look like it was stalking? Would I be able to make heads or tails, anything like that?
Yeah, it looks like it was following the herd.
Now tell me, Thea, have you ever hunted before? Has your daddy ever done you a service? Teaching you how to work? Teaching you about these woods?
Scott.
That would be a big no.
That'll be a big no. Told me to stay out of the woods, actually. Kept me inside.
Well, schoolgirl, it seems like there's a lot that I gotta teach you. I kind of take note of like these tracks and just like continue forward as we continue walking. All right.
Yeah, you know.
Come on now, my home is a bit of ways.
I just pick up my pace and go after him. And like, you're a big dude, and she's like a tiny girl. Like she's probably like, well, she's probably average sized actually. She's probably like 5. She's like 5'4". Mm-hmm. And then pushing a bike in the snow. Well, why are you pausing and looking at the tracks? Isn't that normal? Animals around all the time.
Not one of these size. And do I notice anything else particularly odd besides the size?
I'll give you a...
Or if it's like is it? We're like out. We're like towards the woods, so it's not like too out of the ordinary to see tracks along this trail.
I would say you do not have any skills that would give you that kind of an understanding of the tracks, other than the size. It's big.
Mm-hmm. Well,
You know that Ashley might know that kind of thing, but not. That may be a little beyond your understanding. Looks like a big wolf
well,
track.
with all that's been happening, let's just say that I'm more of a believer of the unbelievable. Heck, maybe Zebediah's words are making a little bit more sense now.
I see.
And your walk home is uneventful, except of course for the 2 or 3 times that Thea slips and drops her bike and falls on her knees and scrapes them a bit on the dirt or gravel. And Gus does not really assist, knowing that it's probably a lesson you're learning that is important. Pain is a lesson.
Yeah.
She just gets up like.
Look, if you're gonna have all those fancies, you gotta learn how to take care of them. Bear the burden.
But you do get home unscathed, unwolf attacked, and all that.
How big is Angus' home?
I would say it's pretty respectable. Probably way smaller than your family home, but like my family did live in it.
Yeah. It's a big clapboard home, but it's a big one of that type. So it's mostly a big square. It has a big porch on the front, and it is on the side of a hill. So the front part of it is raised up on some stone columns that looks like they've been built by hand. And it looks like it's been there a long time.
I look around and I say, Mr. Bell, do you live here all by yourself? By your lonesome?
You know, I wasn't always alone in this home.
Just looks like really sad. Oh.
As Bell is just like, after like living on his own for some time, he has a routine that he goes through, which is just like packing up and just like getting the fire started and just all of that.
Yeah, I find is there like a place on the porch that's underneath an awning that she could put her bike?
Sure, there is.
Yeah, she goes and scoots the bike into that.
All right. And the evening goes uneventful for everyone. Y'all wake up. You check the workers in the morning. Everyone seems to have arrived on time. 1 or 2 are a little late, but nothing too bad. And if there's nothing you need to do, we will jump over the weekend that everyone enjoys with their families or whatever they're doing. Well, Thea's probably not enjoying her weekend yet. She has learned how to clean and cook and repair things. And
Now I'm going to teach you how to chop wood.
oh, okay, even worse.
Yeah, there's just like a big montage of that where like she like kind of tries to lift the axe and just like actually falls backwards.
You're supposed to use the weight, not have the weight use you.
Ashley,
Quick question
Yeah,
for
go
the GM, Scott. How old was Lexi?
Her sister Lexi?
Yes, her sister
She was
Lexi.
14, 15.
Okay, let me check my list of siblings because I want to interrogate the one that's closest in age about the stick game.
Oh, all right. Before we get to that,
I think I would ask my sister about that stuff too if she'd heard anything about it.
Right.
Okay. The next morning, there's a train coming in, so it is typical for it to show, and it shows up and it leaves on time. The B&O is usually pretty on time. A couple hours after it leaves, you are walking the tracks, checking things, and you feel the tracks. Like, you can feel when a train's coming. You can kind of, you sense it through your feet and through your bones, the movement of the track and the gentle rumble when it's in the distance. And it does that, and you wait for a while, anticipating, the signs of it coming closer, an unexpected train, or, a whistle or a smoke rise across the hill coming over, and it just sort of stops, and no train arrives.
All right, that's. And he kind of just looks one way down the tracks, another way down the tracks.
And when you look down the other way, you see a man standing out there with a little briefcase, walking towards the town.
And is he like quite a distance from you, or can I catch up to him?
Yeah, he's at a distance, and he's walking your way, so you can catch up to him just by waiting or walking to him.
Kind of just a few steps forward towards him, be like, "Sir, you need to stay off the tracks. Trains are active right now."
They create an open area that makes it easy to see potential dangers, and I am fast enough to kind of get out of the way of a train.
That's what everybody says. And then I come around and scrape him off the tracks.
And he steps to the side of the tracks where the rocks are, but not on the wood. I get your point. You look like you are employed by the railroad by your dress, are you?
That I be.
How far am I from Guilty Hole?
It's just yonder there.
Oh, very nice.
What business do you have in Guilty Hole? Pretty quiet this time of year.
I am walking this way looking for work. I have heard that there is both a mine and a sawmill, so a town like that is often a supplier of employment.
Well, the mine could always use new bodies.
I am actually more of an accounting type, so I'm hoping that you don't have to use my body and break it down as they would with things like miners and lumberjacks or teamsters or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
He's wearing like a seersucker jacket, so he looks like he's got clean fingernails and things like that.
Well, just mind yourself and mind your words.
I will take that into account. Nice to meet you. My name is JT Fields. What is your name?
Can call me Mr. Crane.
Mr. Crane. Pleased to meet you. Thank you for guiding me towards the town. Maybe we'll run into each other again when we're both employed.
Well, best of luck with that.
Thank you. And he walks by and kind of saunters almost. He's got like a prideful walk.
Oh, the town's gonna eat him up.
Back in town, Thea is going through her montage of pain. You wake up early, Albie. Your sister's got breakfast going. Come on, it's ready.
Thank you, Liam. I sit down at the table. What you making?
I'm making some eggs and I am making some grits. And her
Sounds
back is
lovely.
turned to you. She's just kind of making the food. I'll have it on the table in a moment.
Anything I can do to help?
You could put a couple plates down and some forks. That would be nice.
Sounds good. And he gets up, goes over, cupboard,
Yeah.
plates. Even pours the orange juice or whatever we have in there for drinks. That way she doesn't have to do that.
And she turns and pours out the grits, a pretty good slab of butter right in the middle, and then drops 2 eggs right on the top.
That's just like Mama made it. Thank you.
I mean, we learn from the best, didn't we?
Yeah, I have to agree there.
She sits down.
What's going on with you? I haven't talked to you in a few days. What's been happening?
What's been going on with you? I heard there was like demon worship and all that at the church or something going on. What happened?
They're always demon worshiping at that church.
No, it's usually the opposite end of the spectrum that people are worshiping
kidding.
towards.
I'm
And you look like you are halfway awake at this point.
Yeah. Well, got any
She
coffee?
puts down some black coffee.
There you go. Just take some of that. Well, I don't know about no demon worshiping. I mean, I know that's probably the rumor, but there was some weird stuff going on. You know the wooden girl? Or the girls, the wooden girls?
I do not.
You don't know? Well,
No.
the youngest one, I think she's...
You mean of the sawmills? The Woodens of the sawmills?
Yeah, the Woodens. Is there any other Woodens nearby?
That's the only name I know, but I don't think I ever met any of them.
Well, the youngest one, I think her older sister called her Lexi. She's somewhere around 12, 14, somewhere in that area. But you're not going to believe me when I tell you this. But on Mama's grave, the girl was floating in the air.
No, she wasn't. You are pulling my leg, and you think I'm going to believe
I'm
something
not
like
telling
that?
no story. I'm not telling no story right now.
Was she being carried by a giant eagle, too?
No, she was floating. We had to get a ladder and use some rope to pull her down. You don't believe me? You can ask Gabe.
I
You can ask
have heard that.
Ashley.
People have been talking.
All right, listen. You can ask Zeb. You know Zeb, right? You met Zeb. He's a nice
I'm
fellow.
not saying you're a liar, because you are not a liar. But I'm saying sometimes you drink too much.
And that's why I'm talking about Zeb and Ashley. Both of them have not been drinking, and you can even ask them. They were there. They saw it too. They helped bring the girl down. The church now, they went and did their whole, ritual to get the evil spirits out, but I don't know. It was just a weird event all in all. Have you heard anything about some weird stick game the kids are playing in that old cemetery?
I mean, they play stickball sometimes.
Not stickball, like some weird game where they, I don't know, some weird game where they talk to spirits with a stick.
You're telling me that after floating people are and you're thinking that I'm talking to spirits? How am I going to talk to a spirit with a stick? Am I going to beat the spirit into conversation?
And he grabs his headache, pulls out his medicine, takes his morning pills.
And she puts her hand on the flask and she says, No. You
No, not the flask. Not the flask.
Oh.
I'm not drinking with the flask, with
okay.
the coffee.
Oh, okay.
Just the pain meds for my headache.
You have got to be kidding me. I am not someone like that. I would not be.
Saying you. I know. Listen, I know you got a good head on your shoulders. You weren't dumb like our brother and me. All right, you're a smart girl. I'm just saying maybe you heard some things from younger kids talking.
I don't talk to the younger kids no more. I'm a grown up at this point.
Well, if you hear anything in town from the younger kids, let me know, because a couple kids went missing because of this weird game, and that little girl ended up floating because of it. So now,
if I hear anything, I will definitely tell you. But I'm not part of no quilting circle, so I don't have really many opportunities for rumors to roll my way.
What are you doing? What have you been doing?
I've been taking care of this house.
But
while you're out,
do you ever go out and hang out with anybody? Look, it's not just your responsibility to take care of me. It's my job to take care of you. You're still 16. You should be having fun.
16 going on 30. That's right.
Well, that was before I came home. I want you to go out and have fun.
Honestly,
meet people.
Albie, it ain't that much different. It just means I got to make twice as many eggs.
I'm just saying that's a little hurtful, because you make those eggs with the money I earn.
That's true. I mean, I don't want it to come out like I'm not appreciative, but you're not even home that much. All I see you is meals and
I know. Listen, I'm trying to make money for us. I'm trying to take care of Sam's mom. I got to make sure people in town are taken care of and making the work on time so nobody's hurt. It's busy.
it'd be good for us to have some time together too. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Outside of
we can
just
do that.
meals, because meals seem like work to me.
Well, Gabe and I haven't been on the best terms since he got back, but perhaps I can invite him over for dinner, and you and I can make dinner together, and then we can have some time, and you can see how he's been doing. Maybe bring some
sure?
of his. Huh?
You sure?
Sure what?
I thought you two were not like on the up and up at this
Listen.
point.
We were drinking last night and talking a little bit, and it's not. Things aren't right as rain yet, but it takes time.
Drinking does make friends become friends again.
Sometimes it makes friends turn into enemies too.
Yeah, but a good punch to the nose sometimes turns into the best friendship right after. I hope there was no punch in the nose, but
But if we do this, I want you to go to town, and I want you to find some people your own age, hang out with, have some, not anything crazy, but make some friends.
I'll avoid all
Be a
games
kid.
with sticks.
Yes, all games with sticks.
All right.
So,
And you finish your breakfast, and it's a pleasant breakfast after that.
and I give her a big old kiss on the head, and I said thank you. And,
Yeah, you got to go chase those boys back to work, and those girls that are running late. Some are going to be.
Yeah, some be the way they be.
Gabriel, are you going to have your conversation on Saturday or Sunday before church, or how you want to do it?
I was going to figure out when I can get a moment alone with Rebecca Louise May, because she is 15 years old, which is, I believe, close to the same age as Lexi.
Well, getting alone time anywhere in your house is a
Correct.
bit of a difficulty.
Even if it's walking back or forth from the church, for example.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, on the way back from church is a good time. You all kind of split and go your own ways and go see friends and whatnot. And